Hi, my name is Daued and thank you for welcoming me into your homes today. I'm very happy to see you again and I hope you're happy to see me too. I hope you're having a good time already, and if you're not, then I promise you, you will have now, because today, together, we're going to study something very important, something very amazing, something very useful and something very interesting. I'm telling you, it's going to be so much fun and learning both at the same time. But you need to do a very simple thing. What is that? You need to pay attention. So please pay attention and listen carefully, because that is the key, that is the secret to make everything super easy. So are you ready? I didn't hear that. Are you ready? Set. Let's begin. So before we actually start the story, and the story today is called Indigo, I want you to say something with me. I want you to repeat something after me. Alright? It's a new, beautiful, peaceful and positive day today. So I'm going to forget about all my worries and I'm going to enjoy this lesson, this session and this beautiful day. I hope you're feeling better now. So today I want to talk to you about indigo. What is indigo? Indigo is that plantation, नील का जो plantation होता है जिसमें से blue color dye निकलता है, and it is used, जिसको कपड़े को ब्लू डाई करने के लिए काम में लेते हैं. तो नील के बारे में हम लोग सब जानते हैं. And indigo, it means we are going back in the past. We are traveling back. So you need to use your imagination, because the best way to understand any poem, any literature work, any story is to use your imagination. And before anything, the first and foremost thing that we need to do is give sincere thanks to the writer and the poet for writing the story, for writing the poem for us, because they write these poems and stories for us, from which we learn a lot of good things, a lot of moral values, and sometimes we get entertained too. So our sincere thanks to the writer Louis Fischer, who has written this story for us. The story that we are going to study today is from his book, which is called The Life of Mahatma Gandhi. It's an excerpt from his book, The Life of Mahatma Gandhi, and it is considered as one of the best books ever written on Gandhiji. Now, do you know the difference between autobiography and biography? This question may arise in your mind, that what is the difference between autobiography and biography? Some of you are thinking, I never thought about it before. And some of you are smiling because you know. So those of you who know about it already, I really appreciate that. And those of you who do not know, I really appreciate your willingness to learn. So when the person himself writes the story of his life, that is autobiography. What is autobiography? A story of a person's life. So if a person writes the story himself, or the person writes the story herself, then it is known as autobiography. But if somebody else is, if somebody else is writing your story or this person's story, then it is known as biography. For example, if Gandhiji has written the story of his life himself, then it will be known as autobiography. But if I am writing the story of his life, Louis wrote the story of his life, Louis Fischer, or somebody else, maybe you are writing the story of his life, you wrote, or somebody else wrote, then it will be known as biography. Okay? If Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, he himself has written the story of his life, then we will call it autobiography. But if somebody else, his assistant, his lab mate, or me, or anybody else has written the story of his life, then we will call it, it will be known as biography. Okay, I hope you have understood. I hope you will never forget it. I hope you will always keep this in mind. So we will now begin the story. When I first visited Gandhi, and our sincere thanks to Louis Fischer again for writing the story. When I first visited Gandhiji in 1942 at his ashram in Sevagram in central India, he said, I will tell you how it happened that I decided to urge the departure of the British. It was in 1917. So he is telling us here that he happened to meet Gandhiji in the year 1942. When? In the year 1942. Obviously, when you want to write about someone, especially a great personality like Mahatma Gandhi, you need to meet the person. And Louis Fischer was a great fan of Gandhiji and he wanted to know more and more about him. So he happened to meet him in the year 1942, and that's when Gandhiji said to him, today I will tell you that when I made up my mind that enough is enough, that I want India to be a free nation now. I want India to be an independent country now. I want British to leave. उन्होंने शेयर किया लुइस फिशर के साथ कि when I made up my mind, कब मैंने ये फैसला कर लिया कि अब तो मैंने ये ठान लिया है कि मैं अब ब्रिटिश को, अंग्रेज़ों को इंडिया से भगा के ही रहूँगा, उनका यहाँ से डिपार्चर उनका करा के ही रहूँगा. तो we are taking you back 1 year ago now. It was in 1917 when Gandhiji made up his mind कि अब तो मुझे अंग्रेज़ों को यहाँ से भगाना है no matter what. He made up his mind in the year 1917. Now we are taking you back 1 year ago, 1916. He had gone to attend annual convention of the Indian National Congress Party in Lucknow. So Indian National Congress Party, the political party that we have today, it's a very old party. It was there back then at the time of freedom struggle also it was there. So Gandhiji had gone to attend a session, an annual convention of Indian National Congress, and it was attended by 2,301 delegates. And what does the word delegate mean? The meaning of the word delegate is representative. So there were 2301 representatives and many other visitors who attended this session, who attended this annual convention of Indian National Congress, including Gandhiji. So during the proceedings, Gandhi recounted a peasant came up to me looking like any other. What does the word peasant mean? It means farmer. Okay, Gharib Kisan. So then he says that a farmer came to me and he wanted to talk to me about something, and he looked like any other farmer of India, of our country. He was very thin and he looked quite weak and poor. So he looked like any other farmer of our country, and he came to me and he told me, I am Rajkumar Shukla. Imagine, now you need to use your imagination. That's where it's going to become more fun, when you are using your imagination. Imagine a poor farmer has come to see Gandhiji, and he's very poor and he's thin. He's exactly looking like farmers would look back in those days, and he's very thin, and he says, I am Rajkumar Shukla. Mera naam Rajkumar Shukla, and I've come from Champaran district. And Gandhiji is thinking, Champaran? I've never heard about this city before. What is this? So Gandhiji did not know. Gandhiji hasn't heard about the district before, Champaran. He says, he told Gandhiji that his name was Rajkumar Shukla and he had come from Champaran district. Gandhiji never heard of this place. And where was it? It was in the foothills of the towering Himalayas near the kingdom of Nepal. So under an ancient arrangement, the Champaran farmers were sharecroppers. They were sharecroppers and they were facing a lot of injustice. British people, English people, they were doing a lot of injustice with them, and they were rude and cruel with all the farmers there, and they had made their lives living hell. So he had come to appeal Gandhiji. This farmer, he came to attend this Indian National Congress annual convention just to meet Gandhiji, as it was attended by 2,301 representatives and many other visitors. And one of the visitors was this person, Rajkumar Shukla. So he had come, Gandhiji, please help us. They have made our lives living hell. The life for all the farmers there in Champaran, it is very difficult because English people are very unjust and very unfair. So he had come to complain about whatever was happening with them to this Congress session, to complain about the injustice of the landlord system in Bihar. And somebody had probably said, speak to Gandhiji. So he had come to Indian National Congress session and he was telling everybody, and he had come with this complaint. So somebody told him that, if you want justice, if you really want it, you need to speak to Gandhiji. You meet Gandhiji, okay? So you meet Gandhiji. So Gandhiji said to Shukla that I've been very busy and I have a very busy schedule, because he was a very busy person. So he said, you cannot take me with you right now, for sure. I'm busy. But क्योंकि गांधी जी को और दूसरी जगहों पे भी he had to go. So Shukla, Rajkumar Shukla, he went with him everywhere. Wherever Gandhiji went, he went with him. Then Gandhiji returned to ashram near Ahmedabad. Shukla followed him to the ashram. Now Gandhiji has returned from Lucknow. Where has he gone back now? Where is he now? He had gone to Lucknow. And now he is back, Ahmedabad. And the farmer is still following Gandhiji. He's still around him, still maybe because he's made up, the farmer also has made up his mind that I want to take Gandhiji with him. I want Gandhiji's help to address this issue, to address this problem of all the farmers in my region, in my area, in the Champaran district. So for weeks he never left Gandhi's side, and for many weeks wherever Gandhiji went, he went with him. And he said to Gandhiji, Gandhiji, please fix a date. आप मुझे एक डेट फिक्स कर दीजिए, fix a date please. He requested Gandhiji. Gandhiji then he was impressed. He was really impressed by this person. And why wouldn't he be impressed? See the consistency, see the perseverance of this man, the determination of this person. Gandhiji was impressed with him. And Gandhiji said that I will be in Kolkata on so and so date. You come there, and from there we will go together, okay? And that farmer went back home, Champaran, and every day, maybe he had a calendar with him, he was counting days. On that day, I need to go to Kolkata, and that's when Gandhiji will come with me to our place, Champaran. And as that date came, he was there, he went there, he met Gandhiji and told Gandhiji and requested Gandhiji, okay Gandhiji, you gave me today's date, I'm here. Now please come with me, please come and see us, see the conditions of the farmers there. And this is happening many months after their previous meeting. So Shukla जो है अपने साथ गांधी को ले गया. So they first reached Bihar. First of all, they go to they are going to the city which is Patna, the capital city of Bihar. That's where they have gone. And first person they went to was Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Rajendra Prasad, who would later on go on to become the first ever president of India. Yes, I'm talking about the same person, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, who was later the first president of our country, the first president of India. He was a lawyer back then in Patna, Bihar. And Gandhiji and Dr. Rajendra Prasad, they did not know each other. So it was because of this farmer, Rajkumar Shukla, that they got to know each other, that they got to meet each other. So he has gone there, and now what is happening? Rajkumar Shukla is there and is greeting the servants of Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Dr. Rajendra Prasad is not at home, but his servants are there, and his servants, they know, they recognize Rajkumar Shukla. Arey, this is the same poor person who keeps coming to our master, who keeps coming to Dr. Rajendra Prasad for help, because Dr. Rajendra Prasad is a lawyer and he keeps going to him, he keeps visiting his house. Please help us, please help us. So, and Gandhiji is also with him, and the servants of Dr. Rajendra Prasad, they do not recognize, they do not know Gandhiji, and they are misunderstanding. They are thinking that Gandhiji is also one of the farmers like Rajkumar Shukla. So they have asked them to sit. They were both asked to sit on the floor and wait, and because Dr. Rajendra Prasad was not available at the moment.